first day of the final Cornhill Test match at the Oval. Welcome to the highlights, with Australia leading in the series 4-0. The two teams, announced by the captains when they went out to toss today, showed changes from the squads talked about earlier in the week. First of all, England left out Eddie Hemmings and Nasser Hussain, the young player from Essex. In the side, David Capel, Derek Pringle, Alan Iggleston from Kent, who was called in at the last moment to lead the attack with Gladstone Small. One spinner in the side is Nick Cook. The Australians go in with the same side as played at Trent Bridge. Tim May goes out of the final squad. Dickie Bird and Ken Palmer are the men standing in this test match. Australia won the toss, a lovely batting strip, fast outfield. It looks quite parched actually, and the pitch looks as though it will have in it quite a bit of bounce. We join play now with the fifth ball of the fourth over. It's Iggleston's second over of the match, 7 for no wicket, and he is bowling to Geoffrey Marsh.
And that was close to off stump. The half volley from Small. And it's 4. And that's Geoff Marsh's 2,000 runs for Australia in Test cricket. Stiffish breeze. And Brinder's past the view that too many Test pitches have been too well watered in the 2 or 3 weeks prior to each game, but this one hasn't. Well, that's the first ball that's really done anything off the seam for Small. All that's happened is it's cost him 4 runs, but it was a pretty useful delivery.
Yes, a bit of bad luck there for Gladstone Small. That just moving a little bit away from Taylor, but getting a thick outside edge, quite safe. The ball going well short of the gully and just beat him.
Iggleston. Well, that's a good delivery. Well, that was bang on target. Crowd applaud.
And just for once in a while, Mark Taylor just getting in a little bit of a tangle there with that short delivery.
Once again straying onto the leg stump there. Gives you a good idea of how quick this outfield is. And they'll take the 4. Good quick running and good judgment. They didn't slow down in the early part of those 4 runs. They knew that there's a chance it would be picked up just inside the boundary. And a very good effort from that pair. There's Iggleston bowling to Taylor.
This is Derek Pringle from the pavilion end. That's good effort. It bounced nicely for Nick Cook up into his throwing hand, the left hand. With great presence of mind, he just hurled it back at the stumps.
Yes, just a touch of swing there.
Hostile stuff from Gladstone Small.
Yes, these opening batsmen a little bit inclined to turn their back if they get in a tangle, but they get their bats out of the way. It's just a case of taking the knocks, but staying in.
Beautiful shot. But that's the same timing that Mark Taylor's demonstrated right from the start. Short, punchy shots. And the outfield, you can just see how the sun has done its work here at the Oval. There's bare patches, burned patches.
Things looking a little bit ominous for England. Once again, a very good opening partnership, and runs beginning to come much easier now.
Oh, that's it. Past the bat.
And for once, Taylor playing and missing.
Gladstone Small continuing from that Vauxhall.
It's in the air. He's caught him. Well bowled, Gladstone Small. Surprise ball, just dropped in short. Marsh on the hook. And Eggleston at mid-on gets into a test match in a very important way.
Well, I've said earlier today how the Australians, all the opening batters and the early batsmen have got out of the way of the bouncer. Here Marsh tried to hook from outside the off stump, not getting inside it at all, getting a top edge, and Alan Eggleston making some good ground there and picking that up well. So a great strike for Gladstone Small. He's been a little bit expensive, but he's certainly repaid the captain's faith in him.
Intelligent bowling, really. The element of surprise was the main thing there, because the ball was on Geoff Marsh that little bit quicker than he anticipated.
Yes, and in fact he was hooking off the front foot.
David Boone is the new batsman. Oh, well, Cook caught it, and Gladstone Small looks as if he deserves a wicket. It certainly was a tremendous ball, quick and fired in short.
Great delivery for first, and David Boone tried to get out of the way of it, and that hit him on his right shoulder, in fact. A fine piece of reaction by Cook as it goes off his shoulder.
Mark Taylor is just 7 runs away from drawing level with Don Bradman's 1934 aggregate of runs in the series. Oh, what a cracking shot.
Certainly the shot of the morning so far.
He's just batted for hour after hour as he's built big innings after big innings. And there again you see, once a bowler starts thinking where he's got to put his feet, the automatic things suddenly have to be thought about, and that's the result. 2 half volleys either side.
Yes, and what it does do, really, it takes away the 8 overs he's previously bowled for 9 runs. You suddenly bowl 1 bad over and it's all thrown away. But Boone's a player who was very quick onto anything loose and playing 2 beautiful shots.
Mark Taylor's on 46, David Boone on 18. Alan Eggleston is the bowler. And 4 to start with. 50 up for Mark Taylor. He's made a practice of that in this series today.
You can't start the afternoon as a batsman any better than that. Short outside the off stump and beautifully cracked away square.
That was a good shot from Boone. Wasn't all that bad a bouncer either. From the pavilion end. It wasn't the turn that did him there, it was the fact that he played for a little spin. 100 up for Australia on the first day of this Cornhill Test match. 101 for 1. Good shot for 4.
Once more we see anything that's not absolutely right with those 3 catchers close in. There are so many gaps in the field that Taylor just picks his gap and 4 more runs.
Once again, it was the question of the batsman playing for the spin there. The ball just went straight on.
That's a loose shot and he's gone, and Iggleston first test wicket. Well, there we are. Happy day for Iggleston. And England now with Mark Taylor. So often the Scourge through this series, caught at the wicket by Russell off the bowling of Iggleston. For 71, Australia now 130 for 2.
Well, on a couple of occasions, Taylor's played a little bit slack just outside that off stump. And that was exactly identical to one or two that he played and missed at. On that occasion, just a faint little touch. No more than that, no real deflection, and Russell making no mistakes with a straightforward catch. So a little bit of reward there for Alan Iggleston.
Now, having got rid of one left-hander, there's another. Well, there's Border's immediate answer. Slightly on the up, because it wasn't a half volley, but it's 4 runs.
Well, you won't get many better shots than that to get off the mark with. Quite wide as well, and Border not getting the feet across to it, but he certainly kept the bat going through on the line.
Well, I think he might have got a foot to it, Border. If he didn't, then that's a chance, but...
Yes, he's certainly got a boot on that, I would say. The ball never actually going through to Jack Russell.
Well, that's the end of Iggleston. Gladstone Small to replace him.
Risky shot, and Gladstone Small just getting the ball to run away from David Boone.
Well, when he played this shot, it looked as though he'd got a big nick on it. In fact, that ball swung after it had gone past Boone. And a little bit lucky to get away with that.
Which end will they throw? Oh, it missed. There's such a rush for Nick Cook at mid-wicket.
Well, there hasn't been much messing about with the running here, but there's certainly a chance there. Alan Border would have been out by 2 yards if Cook had hit the wicket.
Flashing bat and a flashing catch.
Wide half volley. Well, it wasn't really a half volley. David Boone flat-footed, swinging the bat and getting a thick outside edge, and Atherton picking up that sharp catch at third slip.
Incoming batsman Dean Jones. That's a handsome way to get off the mark for Dean Jones. He hit it a bit into the ground, but then you get some topspin, I think, Tom, don't you?
Yes, like a little bit of hook on the golf shot.
Well, they are going to rest Gladstone Small. Because 18 overs, 2 maidens, 2 for 69. David Capel it'll be. Choice was Iggleston, Pringle or Capel. A long chase. Not much is going to be pulled up before that boundary rope in this match. Just before the tea interval, leg spin. In the match at Trent Bridge, when Mike Atherton came on, he confused the batsman 3 times with the bosey. They didn't pick it. The man at deep square, Capel, lost it. I suspect never saw it from the moment he left the bat.
Well, that really was a gift horse, as they say. Halfway down the pitch, outside the leg stump, and just bouncing the nice height.
th over of the innings. Oh, what a terrific shot from Border. Stevenson just too late in the covers to get down, but it was hit with immense power.
Well, if you wanted to hit an off drive and you're a left-hander, that's how to do it. Look at that beautiful position Alan Border's got in.
Dean Jones, very strong onside, and really Capel has to think about either his line or his field placings. Got 6 on the offside, 3 on the on, and this man Jones is extremely strong through that mid-on area. Derek Pringle coming back. That was a useful delivery, because that one seamed away, took the edge, but no reward. .200 up for Australia. Didn't carry.
Yes, David Capel getting a little bit of extra bounce here. It surprised Alan Border. Just dropping short of Graham Gooch, who did well to pick it up.
And a bouncer, so clearly the discussion between Gooch, Gower and David Capel has been for the Northamptonshire all-rounder to start banging them in a bit short, not getting any movement at all from pitching them up.
David Gower has been standing at first slip all day. It's quite a change. Perfectly understandable that a captain should want to stand in line with whatever's happening out there, but perhaps again you have to wonder why he hasn't been doing the rest of the series, because he's a good catcher at slip. And that's where the Australians have been so effective right through the series. That was a strong shot, and so easy. Just leaned on it, and up goes the bat, off goes the helmet, because Dean Jones has 50. Yes, this could be the 2000th run for Dean Jones. Yes, it is. Well played, Dean Jones. 2,000 runs in Test cricket. Of course, a statistic not known by the crowd here, so no great eruption of applause. Nick Cook comes on to bowl. He's going to bowl over the wicket to a left-handed Border. No doubt he'll go around to Dean Jones. And it's bowled on the onside where there are only 3 fielders. Gladstone Small is having to sprint down the mid-wicket boundary, but all in vain. Thank you very much, Alan Border.
There's Border's 50. He's worked hard for it. Eight fours. Four more. And fielding really has to be razor sharp under these conditions. The outfield's like lightning.
Beautifully played.
Takes Jones to 80. Well, that had him in trouble. That was a good piece of bowling from Small. Wasn't a bouncer.
He has that ability to get that ball up. And that took Jones by surprise.
Well fielded. That had 4 written all over it. But beautifully picked up out of cover there.
Look at that, they're a whack.
150 stand up between Border and Jones. Alan Eagleston comes in from the Vauxhall end. And the 300 up now for the loss of 3 wickets. 92 Jones, 64 Border, end of the over from Eagleston.
Cook to Border.
That's very good cricket from Dean Jones. And there's only one reason he did it, that he had the common sense to have his bat in his right hand. So many carry it in the left and then have to switch it. He has the bat in the hand nearest to the bowler. The infield need to watch the single here. Jones is on 99. No need to worry. Well, Gladstone Small did very well. They still run 4. And that is, I reckon, one of Dean Jones' best innings. Nick Cook now from the Vauxhall end. Oh, good shot. He's played no better stroke than that today, I tell you.
Now, this was probably the stroke of the day. Just short of a length, run into him, played with a straight bat through mid-wicket.
And certainly no better way to finish the highlights of the first day than with a stroke like that from Dean Jones, who remained 114 not out. There were 2 more runs added to take it up to 325 for 3. His skipper is with him on 66. Another good innings from Mark Taylor. David Boone played all right, but the top 3 wickets looked as though they might have suffered a little by the state of the series. Small took 2 wickets, and I thought Gladstone Small bowled the best I've seen him for quite some time. I saw him bowl out Australia one day in Melbourne, and today from stages of the morning, and it looked as though there might be some movement there. The new ball, the second new ball, was taken in the first over by Eagleston. Here he is now in the 3rd over of the day, and he's coming into bowl to the Australian captain, Alan Border.
Oh, that is well bowled. Completely squared Border up. Probably the best ball that Eagleston's bowled in this match.
Yes, well, as I said, he looked to move the ball more away from the left-handers, and that was a perfect example of it. That was a good delivery, round about the off-stump, went off the wicket, and Border could see that right arm shoulder, right, really square on there. The right shoulders come right round to the leg side.
Gladstone Small now to Dean Jones. Oh, well, that could have been the wicket that England wants.
Just a little bit of lack of concentration there. That was a little bit wide to go through on, but in the end, Small was a little bit unlucky not to get the edge as well.
Jones didn't seem very disturbed about it. A lot of throwing up of the hands out there.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see whether this in fact went off the pad. I think it did. It may have just flipped the bat as it came back off the pad.
There's the reply. Eagleston has finished in the same position on the ground. This time it's cost him 4 runs. Just keep your eye on Alan Border, might be a key. Now, Border does look concerned. There's a change in the bowling out there. David Capel has come on, this time still with some shine on the ball. So this is a much better opportunity for him than was the case yesterday. So now it was 2 maiden, number 39. He's bowling to Alan Border. And what a good start. Wouldn't say it's a stroke that's going to go down in Border's memory bank. As one of his greatest. Capel picked him up in that centenary match in Sydney, playing the hook shot. Border, looking at the 3 figures here today, has gone to Capel again.
Alan Border shaking his head there. The old loosener from David Capel down the leg side. Yes, a simple catch there for Jack Russell.
4 wickets down now, 345 on the board, and Steve Waugh comes in. That's the away swing up.
This really well bowled. That ball going in and just moving away fractionally off the pitch.
Oh, what a catch. Left hand by Gower. Small has struck. And Dean Jones has gone. That was a lovely delivery.
Great piece of cricket that from England. Dean Jones never really at home with himself, and this beautiful delivery, leaving him off the pitch, playing a little bit loosely at it, and a superb left-handed catch that by David Gower. Tremendous catch. And Jones returned to the pavilion of a beautiful innings. Never really got to terms with it this morning, but certainly yesterday, I think one of the best innings we've seen at the Oval for a long time.
Now the breakthrough has been made. That excellent middle order in the Australian side has been broken. Ian Healy comes in to join Steve Waugh. Waugh's on 2. It's 347 for 5.
Oh, it's a cracking shot. Comes in from the city end. He's done him. Well done, young man. Maybe it's not such a bad game on the second day after all. Steve Waugh's not pleased. He's been bowled by Alan Eagleston for 14. And the score, 386 for 6.
Well, certainly Steve Waugh has never been in quite the fluent form that he has been earlier in the series. And again, he was making a little bit of room probably to hit that on the offside again. Came back at him a little bit. A little bit of bounce and knocked it down off the inside edge.
Incoming batsman Trevor Holmes. It's a loose ball. So difficult to set a field for David Capel. 2 balls in the over pitch. This one wide, made for cutting. And Ian Healy's in good form.
Well, that's one of Ian Healy's strengths, the square cut. He likes to play the shot. And David Capel certainly feeding him in the right place there. And perfectly played.
Ian Healy coming in and playing certainly his best innings of the series when it was needed.
That's the 400 up for Australia. And a little bit of history, because that makes Australia the first side in the history of Test cricket to top 400 in 8 consecutive first innings of Test matches. Pringle now bowling to Ian Healy. That's out. Lovely bit of bowling, lovely catch. Healy goes, caught at the wicket by Russell. Bright 44, and Australia 409 now for 7.
Yes, and this is Derek Pringle moving that ball away from Healy as he pushes forward, and Jack Russell picking up a good catch wide to his right. But a super little innings by Healy. 44 runs off just 44 deliveries, just under an hour.
Merv Hughes, another batsman who it doesn't pay to trifle with. It wasn't quite meant to go there. That's 4. No ball as well, I think. Whatever it cost 4 anyway. And Merv Hughes didn't bother. Well up, so just flicked away. A very strong man.
Yes, the ball went a little bit uppish, but no backlift, but it really did speed away to the boundary there.
On border. Dogged innings he played, and really that was the crucial partnership of the innings. That's a good shot from Holmes. Wasn't really driven, it was just a firm push, nicely timed.
Well, it really is a quick outfield down there. You can see this again. That's just a push, really. Not even a full follow-through, and just perfectly timed, and then a solid push. And really, mid-off had got no chance at all of catching that.
Gladstone Small, who's been the pick of the attack. That could have been out. Lucky not to get a top edge. Have another one. That might have gone in the memory bank. Certainly 4 runs.
Well, I'm sure that Merv Hughes will be now mentioned to Gladstone Small not to play forward when he's batting.
Small now to Holmes. Oh, and that one could have been chopped on. Instead, it's 4 runs.
Well, again, it just shows the hardness on the ground. That's chopped down, and look at the height of that bounce. Jack Russell had no chance of getting near it. Normally the ball would go nowhere near that height from a little chop onto the ground.
Oh, beat him again. 3 out of the last 4 deliveries, Smalls had the better of Holmes.
Yes, this was a good delivery. Bing coming in and then just angled that across him and really doing him on pace there. Trevor Holmes not getting forward quick enough, feet not moved at all when the ball went past him.
Very close, that one.
This for England.
That's quite straight, and it's out.
Yes, the end of a useful little stander. Merv Hughes has played pretty well with the bat. So Derek Pringle's second wicket. Merv Hughes just nudging forward, really hasn't gotten very far beyond the popping crease, trying to push that ball away on the onside, and would have hit about middle and off.
Jeff Lawson still to score. Faces Gladstone Small. Well, it was a case of open sesame. It was a geometrical impossibility to step back there and try and hit the ball square, but Geoff Lawson thought he'd give it a go.
Well, it certainly wasn't the best shot we've seen this series, but I think Geoff Lawson trying to get a few runs quickly, backing away, and Derek Pringle picks up his third wicket.
Well, possibly time to shake a leg in the Australian dressing room, stir themselves and consider fielding. Hope that's not too unkind to Terry Alderman, but this is Trevor Holmes.
Well, Trevor Holmes not bothering to shield Terry Alderman, and that would have been out if he'd hit.
He's given that a clout. Fine strike that by Trevor Holmes. He's obviously given up on Terry Alderman, I think.
Yes, well, Trevor Holmes doing the sensible thing, giving it the full treatment with number 11 in.
Well, he's hit him. Nasty ball there for Terry Alderman.
Yes, number 11, the light not really that good, and that hitting him just below the elbow on his left hand, left arm. Nasty delivery, that.
That's a good shot, the best of Alderman. 4 runs to square leg.
The final wicket goes down. Trevor Holmes caught it, the wicket by Russell off Pringle. Good return for Derek Pringle now. And Holmes out for 30. Alderman remains 6 not out. Australia dismissed for 468. And although that is still a very good total, 468, it's also England's best day of the series. 7 for 143 they took, and it was a very good performance. The Australian tail wagged. Another good innings from Trevor Holmes for 30. 44 from Healy. You only suddenly looked up and he was gone through 30 and then on to 40. He made 44 in as many balls, and that was a very, very good blow from the Australian wicketkeeper. Hughes, 21, also a frustrating person to get out so far as the England bowlers were concerned. Well, they worked hard. Pringle picked up the last 4, but the man I thought bowled best of all was Gladstone Small. He had 3 for 141 from 40 overs and 8 maidens. Alan Eagleston worked hard out there, 2 for 91 from 24 overs and 2 maidens. Pringle his 4 for 70. And David Capel, given the opportunity today when the ball had a bit of shine on it, I thought bowled much better. 1 for 66 from 16 overs and 2 maidens. The other 3 not used today. Well, that heavy cloud cover that made life difficult for the Australian batsmen was still there when the England openers went out. That was Gooch and Stevenson. And to me, it seemed highly likely that Alderman, Lawson and Hughes could be very dangerous out there against the top order of the England batsmen. Here's the first ball now. Alderman is the bowler coming in from the Vauxhall end, and taking strike is Graham Gooch. No ball call. 1 on the board straight away.
Well, that's a no ball, and it was a little wide, but the ominous thing, it did swing more than anybody else has swung the ball in the match so far. That really boomeranged away when it pitched, and that's not a good sign for England.
One of those men from that close-in position on the onside now has come across to slip. 3 slips in a gully now. Oh, Yes, indeed. Gooch has gone over W, and Alderman has done him again. That field formation and the swinging ball from Alderman, there's no great pace about it, but it is done for Gooch throughout this series. Playing across the pad.
Yes, the first two ones outside off stump swing, and this time he got onto the line that he likes to bowl, round about the leg and middle, and just straightening up fractionally, making it virtually a straight ball at the finish. So once again, Terry Alderman has got Graham Gooch out. He's certainly proved a real thorn in Gooch's side throughout the series. Gooch has gone back into county cricket and made runs consistently. And as soon as he comes back to the test matches, Alderman certainly sorts him out.
Mike Atherton is the new batsman, comes out to join John Stevenson. Well, you can't have more youth than this. Umpires conferring about the light. It has certainly deteriorated, and the batsman will take it. Never any doubt about that, and that's the way it finished for the day. 1 for 1, Gooch LBW to Alderman without scoring, and those two young players, John Stevenson and Mike Atherton, yet to get off the mark. Just the no ball there in England's total in their first innings. Two bowlers used, Alderman 1 for 1, Lawson just 4 balls bowled, and he's bowling to John Stevenson wearing the white helmet. Stevenson's off the mark, and I can assure you that will be a great relief. Two to Stevenson, and the end of Lawson's over. Well, atmosphere is heavy. The ball is new. Well, a belligerent stroke.
Good shot here by Stevenson. It wasn't an attempted real bounce, I don't think, but it was certainly short.
Good shot. That's long chase from Merv Hughes. Easy 3 there. They'll have a look for a 4th. Once again, in that area, Hughes wasn't too sure of his footing.
Now Stevenson got his feet again in a good position, didn't get the leg too far across to the offside, which allowed the bat to come through, and therefore was able to play that ball through mid-wicket. There's a couple of shots that already would have gone for 4 on the quicker outfield before the rain came yesterday.
It's a no ball. And it's gone to 4.
Well, it was good bowling by Terry Alderman. He knows they're trying to get him on the front foot. You can see the slight movement forward. Tries the bouncer. Mike Atherton, I'm sure, would have played the shot whether it was a no ball or not. I don't think Jeff Lawson probably heard the call. He was trying to make the catch. The ball just escaped his grasp and through the legs and just reached the ropes.
It just looks as though Merv Hughes might come on at this end, and then Alderman and Lawson may share the Vauxhall end. Never know if that's because Merv's coming on to bowl or because he just wants to get his muscles working.
First bowling change, Merv Hughes. That's a nice shot. Even on the slower outfield, that'll be 4.
And it's been not very easy for them this morning, but they've coped very well up to now.
269 England need to avoid the follow-on. Oh, has drawn him into it and got him. Caught behind. Full length half volley. Might just have gone a touch, but very wide, and that's the end of Atherton. Caught at the wicket off Hughes for 12 and England 28 for 2.
Yes, a little bit disappointing. This very, very wide, and you can see the foot going into the position second time. That's where it should have been to begin with.
New batsman Robin Smith. What a great series he's having. First ball for Robin Smith. There he goes. Taking up where he left off at Trent Bridge. And Trent Bridge, he took off where he left off in earlier games. What a marvellous start.
Great shot, this. He's such a magnificent square cutter.
That's Hughes' answer. And this little battle started at Lord's, I remember. Robin Smith has established himself as England's premier batsman in this series. Three in a row, and that's a no ball. In fact, he's had a warning, 3 in a row. Hughes is not going to think much of that. Neither's Border, with Dickie Bird speaking to him. Alan Border is pointing something out. And Dickie's had his say. One more. Nine off the over.
And another good shot. Smith getting that front foot right to the pitch of the ball. Super stroke.
Now Jeff Lawson following Alderman on at the Vauxhall end.
Oh dear, they all go over. Wet ball or dry ball, I'm afraid. Demolition of Robin Smith's stumps by Jeff Lawson, and England's third wicket goes down.
Well, there's not much doubt about this. It's just a good length ball, and Robin Smith playing all round it, not really getting forward or back.
3 slips and those 2 gullies for David Gower, but also the fine leg slip. That's well played. And the applause is for the 50 coming up, but for the loss of 3 wickets, and that's a poor start by England. Oh, that's beautifully played by Gower. The margin between his brilliance and his vulnerability is so tiny. Well, he's listening to Ray Illingworth because that's gone through mid-wicket. This beautiful shot. It was there for it, but it's so effortless.
Yes, this time he stood on the line a bit, didn't fall over quite too much, and therefore you get the ball in front of square. And that's a reasonably safe shot.
That got him in trouble. This is one of Hughes' great attributes. Suddenly from nowhere, on even a docile pitch, he can have the batsman heading for the trenches.
Yes, a very good delivery this. The problem is that the ball follows you from there, and it's a nasty delivery.
Laurie Brown with him. There appears to be a swelling on the arm. And it was a delivery which really got him in all sorts of trouble. In it went, and the height and angle got him in no man's land. And that's where it took him on that forearm. Wanted to go forward, in the end was airborne. Oh, he's out. Out, didn't get across. Useful delivery anyway, snapped up, and Stevenson goes. Hit on the arm and unsettled the previous over. That's the end of a determined effort from the Essex man, out for 25. And England 80 for 4.
Good piece of bowling this by Terry Alderman. Bangs it in, a little bit shorter, a little bit more effort, and Stevenson not quite behind it, and perfectly picked up there by Steve Waugh at second slip. But John Stevenson played pretty well this morning. He'd be disappointed at getting out at that stage, but he certainly showed that he's got a little bit of talent, and I thought he played extremely well.
That's 4 runs.
A nice start for David Capel, and it's nice to see a genuine leg glance being played properly. Just a little roll of the wrists, and these days the long leg is so square that if you just let that ball come onto the bat, turn the wrists, it's 4 runs every time.
Well, that's close, and it's too close for Capel. Alderman strikes. Took him just 3 deliveries. Yielded a 4, a bouncer, a full-length delivery. Capel LBW for 4, and England now in all sorts of trouble, 84 for 5.
Well, that's the thing we've been talking about all summer. The front foot going fractionally on the wrong line. He didn't go across with the bat, but because the leg was there, you couldn't quite get the bat to the ball. Pitching round about middle and hitting round about the same spot. And so disappointment there for David Capel. He's been desperate to get back in this side. And you see that's round about middle and hitting round about middle. No problems for the umpire there. And David Capel not going across the line with the bat, but he just couldn't get at it because the leg was on the line of the ball.
New batsman Jack Russell, and really England now have had a poor morning. They've lost 4 wickets. Last over before lunch. There goes Russell. The sort of shot that he's got used to playing in this series. And it's him off the mark with 4.
Well, he's just gone from strength to strength, Jack Russell. As I didn't bat particularly well at Headingley in that first match, but he has improved as the series has gone on.
Yes, Jack Russell's been one of the few success stories for England so far in this series. There were 2 more balls bowled up to the luncheon interval. No change in the score, 89 for 5. David Gower, 23 not out. I thought Stevenson and Atherton both shaped quite well this morning, but in the end they fell to Alderman and Hughes. Good deliveries there from both those bowlers, and it was a splendid effort from the Australian pacemen. Only 3 of them used up to lunch. Alderman 8 overs, 1 maiden, 3 for 20. Lawson 9 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 29. That vital wicket to Geoffrey Lawson. And Merv Hughes 9 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 37. Australia 468, England 89 for 5, 379 runs behind. We join play after lunch now in the second over. There's no addition to the score. Geoff Lawson is the bowler, and he's bowling with the left-hander Jack Russell. Four runs there for Jack Russell, and well bowled by Geoffrey Lawson, just leaving the left-hander off the seam.
Yes, it was quite a safe shot, that. He got well forward there, Jack Russell, and controlled the ball. It went down on the floor through this slip area.
Here's the destroyer, Terry Alderman. He had 3 for 20 at lunch. Now he's bowling to David Gower. Very well bowled by Alderman. He has 4 now. He picked up a wicket early on. Stevenson caught it slip. Then he had Capel LBW. Now he's had Russell caught behind. That is splendid medium pace bowling.
Yes, that didn't really swing in. It just bounced a little extra. Russell had to play at that because certainly Alderman's been bringing the ball enough from there to hit the stumps. It was a very good line. It was only just outside that off stump. Russell had to play a little bit of extra bounce, and the keeper there does the rest. That's a tremendous piece of bowling by Alderman again.
98 for 6 now, and David Gower is on 24. The batsman is Derek Pringle. Nice shot from Derek Pringle. Straight through the vacant mid-off area.
Up for England, 101 for 6.
And there's another beautiful delivery, which fortunately for Pringle didn't carry. Another perfect example of Alderman's work.
The deceptive thing is that Terry Alderman walks back as though he's dying on his feet. Lovely little edge there, not quite carrying to Healy, diving to the right.
That's vintage Gower. The long chase and a slow outfield. But the ball wins. Fourth four for David Gower.
Superb shot, this. David Gower once again just dropping that shoulder where he's injured, but timing that beautifully.
6 minutes were lost because of rain in this afternoon session, and the umpires have deducted 11 overs from the 90 in the day. Lawson to Pringle.
Really sort of a nothing shot. And Derek Pringle very lucky to get away with that. Bounced over the off stump.
Been a long, hard summer. Not made any easier by this morning's collapse. There's some excellent bowling out there by the Australians in that first session of play. England began 1 wicket down. That was Graham Gooch yesterday. Geoff Lawson is the bowler from the pavilion end. Gower is taking strike.
But the light just about good enough for David Gower to pull that one like a rocket through mid-wicket.
It's outside off stump, but David Gower has the range to play that stroke. And you heard the crack as it Came off the middle of the bat. Well, that's Crystal Palace, the beacon in the distance, and you can see how murky it is here at the Oval. You see that stops up, and that's just one. That would certainly have been 2 runs on the first 2 days. Well, you gather from the boos that the umpires have interceded.
Not only did bad light take the players from the field then, but the ground was hit by a rain squall shortly after, and eventually play was abandoned for the day by umpires Bird and Palmer. With the score at 124 for 6, David Gower 43 not out, some lovely strokes in that knock. Derek Pringle 6 not out, having been put down by Ian Healy at the wicket. Still to come, Eagleston, Small and Cook. The bowling figures for Australia, just the 3 bowlers used today. Alderman dominating proceedings. Tremendous performance from him once again. 14 overs, 2 maidens, 4 for 34. Jeff Lawson 1 for 50 from 15, the vital wicket of Robin Smith. And Merv Hughes 1 for 37 from 9. So the match situation at the end of the 3rd day of this Cornhill Test match shows Australia 468, England 120. Though the conditions are much more in favour of batting at the Oval. On Saturday, bad light and rain stopped play. The atmosphere was very heavy and the ball was swinging. It won't quite be so out there today. We join play in the first over. This is the 5th ball. Already 1 no ball has been registered to the England total. Alderman is the bowler coming in from the Vauxhall end, and he's bowling to England captain David Gower.
That's a lovely shot. No great speed in the ball, just stood up and asked to be hit.
Lovely shot to get off the mark.
Jeff Lawson now to Derek Pringle. Derek Pringle's first run of the morning. Short, and again, it's beautifully played by Gower.
Well, another lovely shot this. Short of a length. Once again, beautifully picked up by David Gower.
All overthrows. That's 5. It was a sketchy one because there was a misfield in the gully.
Yes, David Gower clipping this very firmly into the 2 gullies. It's parried down. Merv Hughes running round behind, has a shy at the stumps. A little bit of hesitation by the batsman, but it wasn't a great throw. Very, very wide indeed, and the extra 4 runs there.
The figures roll on. 150 now. Well, that's a good shout. It was well bowled too. Maybe in Gower's mind, he was expecting the short one to play that hook shot, but it was well up, and it was a very good shout indeed.
Hughes, the man that Border has turned to so often in this series. Just when batsmen look like getting set, Hughes has shown himself to be a great partnership breaker. There goes Gower again. He plays so beautifully late on either side of the wicket. It's so difficult to bowl to him.
Well, again, there looks to be no real power in the shot, but this is a big field, and it really did speed away, and that rattled to the boundary. You see, it's just so graceful, only a flick. There's no real power into the shot. But Gower's always had that ability to time the ball, even as a 17-year-old when he first started.
Well, that was a bad ball. 11th four for Gower, not including the one he got from 4 overthrows. Oh, there's an appeal and he's out, and he knows it, and that's the end of David Gower. All too familiar dismissal, caught at the wicket for Healy. Gower's disappointed. England now 169 for 7. Gower caught off the bowling of Alderman for a brilliant 79.
Well, I must admit, when Border took that leg slip away, I always felt there's more chance of getting Gower there than the short mid-off. Didn't actually go to a leg slip. Made Border been thinking, well, no fielder there, and maybe Gower might play the shot. Anyway, that was certainly the case. He's a bit casual again, and he's played that shot once or twice just down the leg side. It's when the right hand doesn't control the top of the bat. Keep the handle forward. He goes a little bit too far across and just flicks at it, and really is a bad way to get out when you've played so well this morning.
That's the 11th time that he's taken 5 wickets in an innings for Australia. New batsman there, Gladstone Small. That was a useful delivery.
Well, that was certainly a chance there. Keeper coming right across in front of first slip and just punching it out there of first slip.
Well, as an appeal for that, it seemed to hit him too high, much too high. Pringle's giving it a rub where he says it hurts. The Australian fielders aren't impressed with that. The thing umpire Bird had to decide was where it had hit him. Was it on the wrist or was it above?
And Border is going to keep the pace going. Lawson to come on for Alderman at the Vauxhall end. Safe, and 4 runs for Gladstone Small. That's just about the first time Gladstone has played an attacking stroke. Came off a thickish edge.
Just a little bit of drift there for Geoff Lawson, but a thick enough edge to get that one to fly between third slip and gully.
A good shot for 4. Beautiful stroke. Excellent defensive stroke the ball before, and a lovely drive through extra cover to follow.
Gladstone Small's a useful lower middle order batsman. 200 up for England. 350s for Warwickshire last year, 500 first-class runs, and he's taught himself how to become more than a useful tail-ender. Now the first spin from Australia in this innings. Only 3 bowlers used so far. Trevor Holmes. Out. And Pringle caught it slip, getting really nowhere as he tried to play forward to that spinner from Holmes. And England now 201 for 8.
Well, again, this was lack of foot movement. He could nearly have hit this on the full toss, Brindle. Really full length. And you can see both feet still on that popping crease. Any movement at all forward by that left foot and he would absolutely have smothered that ball, but he played completely turned round, both feet on the popping crease.
New batsman Nick Cook. Very nice little push from Nick Cook.
Well, Steve Waugh trying the bouncer and then the wider half volley, but Nick Cook up to it and getting nicely forward there.
And 4. Fortune going with Cook there. Full toss. Ricky Bird just checking whether it was all the way or not. 4 runs. Gladstone Small's highest score in Test cricket.
Oh, Gladstone Small showing he's prepared to use his feet there. He's been down the wicket once or twice to the leg spinner. That time he really got him on the full toss.
There we are. Well, making room for a delicate little shot. And 13 off the over.
Gary Alderman.
And more runs there. That field is considerably quicker than was the case on Saturday. 4 more there. 246 for 8 here at the Oval. Now, Merv Hughes around the wicket to Gladstone Small. Still only 3 slips and the gully. And 4 runs. Cracking stroke.
Gladstone Small producing some fine batsmanship here. Beautiful off drive that. And the 250 comes up.
And a 50 stand now between Gladstone Small and Nick Cook. 45 to Small and 20 to Cook. That's good batting, good fighting batting. Back over the wicket. And 4 runs.
Beautifully played stroke by Gladstone Small. Right behind it, just angling the bat down. That running through the gully for 4 runs.
Oh, that really is close.
Yes, well, I think that certainly swung in and kept on going, and no way that could be given out. Umpire Harold Bird quite right there. A little smile that signifies he's happy with his decision.
And that's it. Huge appreciation from the crowd for that 50 from Small. It just isn't a personal best, but it's an invaluable innings for England. England players' balcony will be appreciative of that, just as the crowd are. And England have got a real sniff now of not only saving the follow-on, but with it, the match. And that's a feat, considering the disarray they were in on Saturday. It's a lovely shot. Just picked that up well.
Yes, Gladstone's been getting well forward to Merv Hughes, and when that one came in the right spot then, just going down the leg side, he just flipped, roll of the wrist, beautifully timed, and any batsman would have been proud of that shot.
Alderman now switching his attack. Well, that ball had to come back from where it was pitched. Alderman thinks it did. Umpire Palmer says it didn't.
I think probably trying to bowl the in-swinger from round the wicket. It did come back a little bit, but it's certainly pitched outside leg stump.
Hughes now to Small. There'll certainly be one of them. Small looking for two. He's going. This is going to be close. And in. And England avoid the follow-on. That's a great effort by Small. It was a very risky second. Had that throw from Lawson been on the button, then Small would have struggled. Well, Gower and Pringle, and they really started this England revival. 98 for 6 when they came together on Saturday, and they took it to 169 for 7. They started the revival, and nice little stand between Pringle and Small, and then a much more important one between Small and Cook.
This is Geoff Lawson to Gladstone Small. He's gone. It was a shot of flourish, and so often they've gone through the covers along the ground, and this time maybe the ball held back by Lawson.
Yes, I suppose in some ways a little bit unlucky to really pick him out like that. Straight to Jones in the covers. But a marvellous effort by Gladstone Small.
Alan Eggleston is the new batsman. One more to Cook, who goes on to 26 not out, and that's his highest score in Test cricket.
Holmes now to Eggleston. Hasn't really worked him out. There's his first run. Out. Caught by Dean Jones. Tentative push, simple catch for Dean Jones. Applause there for Nick Cook, because he came in at 201 for 8, and at that stage the follow-on, it was still long odds against.
Very long odds against, I'd say, but what a terrific performance it was from that England tail. They got up to 285. Lovely partnership, first of all, between Gower and Pringle for 71, then Pringle and Small for 32, and Small and Cook, the outstanding one of all, 73 they put on to take it to that final total, 285. The bowling figures, Alderman once again, 5 wickets in an innings, 5 for 66 from 27 overs, 3 wickets to Lawson, the last 2 there out in identical fashion, 1 for 84 for Hughes and 1 for 30 for Holmes. So that is the situation in the match. England 183 runs behind at the conclusion of their innings. We join play now, the 4th ball of the 4th over. Eggleston is the bowler coming in from the pavilion end, the members' end. He's bowling to Geoff Marsh. There are 7 runs on the board without loss.
Just moving that one a little bit away from Geoff Marsh as he pushed forward. Very good delivery indeed. Unlucky not to find the edge.
Out, OBW. Geoffrey Marsh is gone, and Eggleston deserved that wicket. He's bowled 2 or 3 away swingers, and then that was the one that came back, a la Alderman.
Yes, and I don't think we'll find very much doubt about that. Geoff Marsh getting his foot out there very, very early indeed, and getting himself a little bit stranded on that front foot.
It's 7 for 1 wicket now. And the 3 batsmen will be David Boone. Success for Alan Eggleston. That was the last ball of his over. Now it'll be Gladstone Small to bowl to Taylor. Small bowl. Gladstone Small has been slanting it across the left-hander. Hasn't bowled what would be an in-swinger to Taylor as yet.
Yes, good delivery this It appears wide when it gets to the batsman, but that pitched about off stump.
Now we'll see if Gladstone Small can get the away swinger working to the right-hander David Boone.
Dangerous shot early on. Just see how close his gloves are to that ball. So easily have got a little touch there. Wonderful opportunity this for Alan Nicholson to make a name for himself.
And that just slips through square on the offside. Very well timed by Taylor, because the ball narrowly beat Smith at gully. Just went to the right of Stevenson at cover, and yet there was no point in chasing.
Yeah, it's a lovely shot. There's just a little push shot. He didn't really hit it.
Well, that's a sharp one, and it's very well played indeed. Mark Taylor swaying back out of the way.
Yes, you see the advantage there of watching the ball all the time.
That's well stopped. Nick Cook.
Yes, this was hit away pretty hard by Taylor. That going to Cook's wrong hand, his right hand, and he moved pretty well there.
Oh, that was short, and Bywood, short leg, took a dive then. And how wise he was. It's 4 runs.
Yes, this was a similar sort of thing that happened at Nottingham when Boone was the receiver rather than the giver. He got one at the back of the head, but this time Nick Cook just taking evasive action there.
That's a good shot. And that takes Mark Taylor, this lovely shot through the covers, past Bradman's 810 aggregate runs in a series. So Taylor now firmly established in the number 2 spot. That's number 2 spot in the list of heaviest run scorers in an Ashes series. And what a good ball to follow with.
Well, that really was the perfect reply to the previous delivery. That pitch round about leg stump.
Oh, my word. Couldn't hold on. Nick Cook could have bounced anywhere. It went sharply, but he is standing deep.
Yes, when you're actually down, crouching down, it's not easy to get right up to your full height, and he did pretty well. He was at completely full stretch, got a good hand on it, and unfortunately it went just behind him.
Capel to bowl. It's 4 runs. Fourth boundary for Taylor.
Well, that was just a nice half volley, which Taylor was very quick to get onto.
Derek Pringle it is. And another one. Oh, that could have been a wicket. And that came from the surface of the pitch. The ball went through it. Shoulder of the bat from somebody of Pringle's pace is quite an ominous happening.
Yes, that ball bounced. see David Boone taking the bottom hand off. The ball going just wide of Robin Smith there. Fine shot. Half volley on the Midland leg stump. David Boone punching that between mid-on and the bowler.
It's the 50 up.
Now this is Pringle bowling to Boone, 2 slips and a gully. Well, once again, that ball has leapt from length. And Mark Taylor may well wander down and have a little look at that.
And this really took off.
But that's a nice stroke. Exquisite timing.
And how often we've seen this summer. Good length ball. Taylor just pushing through the line.
Nick Cook to bowl from the pavilion end. That's a good shot. Almost looked as though he might have started to move as the bowler's arm was coming over.
Yes, certainly he did there, and the one thing that Cook then had to do was to pull the ball just outside leg stump and pitched in that rough.
Cracking stroke again.
Well, this is Taylor's favourite shot again. Just behind square on the offside, or just behind square on the leg side. He's very, very strong.
2 more overs and 1 more run to take it up to 87 for 1 at the close of play, with Taylor going great guns again on 43 and Boone on 29. The 1 wicket fall went to Alan Eggleston. He had Marsh LBW for 4. I thought he bowled pretty well in that opening spell, and so too Gladstone Smalley was quite sharp from the box used up by England so far. We join it in the first over. Eggleston's the bowler. He's coming into bowl to Mark Taylor. No runs have been added to the overnight score.
There's history for Taylor. No better way to do it than a cover drive like that. And that's what he's done in the series so far. 838. An average that really is Bradman-esque. And there's the position that is now his own by right in the all-time list of aggregates in Test history involving all countries. Well, there's a nasty one, and that wasn't all that short. Gladstone Small. That hits, that's out.
Well, I think there was still a little bit of early morning calling there from David Boone. Mike Atherton there fielding and throwing, and yes, I'm afraid Mr. Boone wasn't even in the frame.
Here's a good shot from Boone. Anything in front of square shows that the batsman is more or less in control of the shot. Good stop by Stevenson. It's the 100 up. Coming in the 39th over, so good bowling effort by England last night. Australia could have been much further down the road towards a declaration had they bowled any less well. That's out. Nicely caught by Russell. Real wide one Taylor went for. What a lovely catch by Jack Russell. Ends Mark Taylor's innings. Caught at the wicket for 48. Australia 100 for 2.
Yes, I think this was really a case of trying to get on with it a little bit. We did well to get a touch on that. In fact, that would have gone straight to David Gower at slip, but Russell taking it, as long as you don't make a mistake, that's fine, but it would have been a comfortable catch for Gower. But that ball was just inside the return crease, and I'm sure that Taylor wouldn't have played that shot in normal circumstances, but he's had a wonderful series. The crowd rising to give him a great reception there.
New batsman Alan Border. Appeal from Russell. Eagleston I'm not sure about. No, certainly umpire Palmer had no doubt.
Well, certainly both the bowler and the keeper appeal there, and you really couldn't see it being much else. If it hit anything, it looked to just brush the gloves there.
Oh, run out here. Boone's gone. Refusal by Border of what would always have been a short, sharp single, even at its very best, but that was the worst. Border just didn't move what the calling was. Boone certainly didn't hear. And that makes Australia now 101 for 3.
Well, there's been more apprehension about the Australian calling this morning than there's been all season. Boone actually run out this time, could have been run out in that first over. Really, well, absolute disaster there.
Well, this is the delivery, and worst of all, it was a no ball. Just look at umpire Ken Palmer there. And there are not many worse ways of getting out than run out anyway, if it's off a no ball as well. And that's just about the bottom. Too late for the reverse thrust. Boone run out for 37. There goes another one, but not with quite the same authority. Eagleston not afraid to try a batsman out. Though he won the battle, he lost the runs.
Well, that's a lot better bouncer, quicker in the right place, and Dean Jones certainly late on that one. Fortunately, top edging it, and one bounce for 4 straight over the keeper.
That wasn't such a good delivery, but it was well dealt with by Australia's number 5 batsman. Fielded. Robin Smith is the fielder.
Dean Jones not quite timing that properly, but a fine piece of fielding by Robin Smith.
Graham Gooch, one of the 2 opening batsmen for England. Will just be ruminating on what's happening out there. The fact that the ball seems to be playing at slightly uneven heights and darting around. Just make that 8. Well, that would have been one of the best catches you would ever see. Nick Cook, it is, was on his incorrect side as well.
Ian Jones really cracking this one away, and Nick Cook diving with his right hand, just failing to hang on to it.
It's not the place to bowl, Gladstone, when Border suddenly decided he's going to have a dash at it.
Stifled appeal, but we could clearly hear the inside edge. A sharp nick of the bat onto the pad. Little applause for Derek Pringle. And the 150 comes up. Well, he dropped it, I think. It was stopped at mid-wicket. Robin Smith has been parrying these stops. Yes, it looks as if that went straight in and straight out.
Well, yes, that certainly seemed to carry straight in. It is a difficult ground for picking the ball up, but I don't think that was a straightforward catch. I really can't believe that Alan Border wants any more runs, and he would hardly get half an hour before lunch now. I would have thought it was very important to him to get about 8 overs in before lunch, just to give them 2 cracks with that new ball, but obviously not declaring yet.
50 of 66 deliveries. Another brilliant innings. First salute to the balcony, then the crowd. Gladstone Smalls finally ended his spell. Just over an hour and a half. David Capel. Oh, he's bowled in, Capel. Middle stump goes, Jones is bowled. Still Border doesn't close. And Australia 189 for 4 with Jones bowled by Capel for 50.
I think we'll probably find that Jones got a little inside edge on this. He's driving a little bit freely, head in the air. Just a touch of an inside edge, dragging it back into the middle stump.
New batsman Steve Waugh. Experimental one from Pringle. Shouldn't think he'd want to repeat it.
Well, Alan Border had made his intention perfectly clear before Pringle let the ball go. Walking down the wicket, making room for himself, and the forehand drive.
And another no ball, second one. 200 up. Australia starting the day at 87 for 1. Those 113 runs have come in 25 overs. David Capel now running in the Border. There goes Border, and he's picked his spot, 4 runs.
David Capel certainly not quick enough to bowl that length to a player of Border's class.
3 scheduled deliveries before lunch. Well, that'll be it, if that's what he wanted. Lead now becomes 400. There's 50. Good stop there by Atherton, but he's just completing a marvellous series for him, both as captain and batsman.
Yes, he's been so consistent.
Nine off the over. And that'll do Dickie for lunch. 2-1-9 for 4. Border on 51. Steve Waugh on 7. An overall lead of 402.
And that's a giant lead for Australia, 402 runs. The declaration came during lunch, as well it might have, 219 for 4. A good innings from Dean Jones again, 50 for him and 51 not out for Alan Border. Mark Taylor with his 48 becoming the third highest scorer in a test series in the history of the game. The bowling figures, Small worked hard, 1 for 57, Eagleton 1 for 55. I thought bowled reasonably well today, and Pringle none for 53 with Capel 1 for 35. Cook none for 10, didn't bring his arm over in that first session of play. So a lead of 402 for Australia, a very big performance from them. And we join play now for the very first ball of the England second innings. Alderman is the bowler, Gooch is taking strike, and he's on a pair.
And ironic cheers. First time out, Graham Gooch is off the mark.
This is Lawson bowling to Stevenson. Well, this is an important day for John Stevenson.
An official warning there by umpire Adelbert for that right foot again.
That's 4. Kept it down very well.
No third man, quick outfield, so 4 runs. But he got right on top of that.
Well, that's out. John Stevenson playing no stroke going, and England 20 for 1, and that's Terry Alderman's 40th wicket. Piece of history for him. This is how he got it.
Yes, well, Alderman been making the ball go away, just turning the shine round, that running on, and really no option but to give that out.
Alderman, with that wicket, becomes the first bowler in Test history to take 40 or more wickets twice in a series. That brings in Mike Atherton, and this game far from dead. Oh, that's also close. That must be close.
It's a useful shout, this. That ball just drifting down the leg side, missing the leg stump.
Great delivery.
What a good delivery. Hasn't swung on a Gooch, really. And that's starting almost middle and leg and swinging very late.
Another huge appeal, and this time Alderman really thought he'd got his man. If that ball went from leg to off, then it must have been perilously close.
Pitching outside the off stump, coming back a little. And a good shout.
Well, of all ways to go, Gooch has found the ultimate now, caught and bowled. He's gone for 10. Alderman takes his 41st wicket of the series, and England now 27 for 2 and in some trouble.
And Gooch driving at this. It's not a half volley. It just stops a little. And Terry Alderman picks up a comfortable catch, coming back to him waist high. Perhaps it stopped just a fraction, but very, very high up the bat.
Robin Smith coming into a situation which isn't easy. They've never been all summer. We're only in the 11th over, and remember, 67 a minimum of to be bowled. Merv Hughes. Good shot from Mike Atherton. Nicely timed.
And Mike Atherton's been very patient. He's played sensibly. And a nice way to get off the mark. That half volley going down the leg side, nicely balanced as he pushes that away firmly.
Pretty good strike from Atherton, but not all that far away from Hughes down at long leg.
No, it really is a surprise ball when Terry Alderman bowls a bouncer.
Alderman goes off and Lawson comes on at the Vauxhall end. Just short of, well, just short of first slip, not quite so short of second slip.
It's really with an open face. Face really open there, facing point almost.
Another one, and you can bet your life that hurt Alderman a bit. Looked as though it got him on the bony part.
Robin Smith flashing at it and it going very quick. Bouncing just short there of Terry Alderman and up onto the wrist, forearm, and not very nice in this colder weather.
Up comes the 50 for England, 51 for 2. Bowled in, beautifully bowled. Lovely change of pace, much quicker that ball from Lawson. So Mike Atherton goes, bowled Lawson for 14, and the third wicket falls now for 51.
Probably would have missed the leg stump, but just a little brush of the pad there, moving it into the off stump. A good piece of bowling by Geoff Lawson once again.
Lawson to Gower.
Lovely shot by David Gower. Short of a length. They'll get certainly 3 here. They might even run 4 if they want to. Smith's looking for the 4th, and I think he'll take it. Oh. Decided not to. An enormous throw by Hughes.
Lawson to Gower.
And it's out. Beautifully caught in the gully by Steve Waugh. Short of a length, David Gower flashing at that. And beautifully picked up by Steve Waugh in that gully position. So David Gower, the 4th England wicket falls, short of a length, no need to play it. Forcing off the back foot, getting a thick outside edge, and a fine catch by Waugh.
Merv Hughes. Nicely played by Smith. That'll be 4.
So the tussle between Merv Hughes and Robin Smith starts again. This time, Robin Smith winning that with a lovely shot through mid-wicket there.
He got a nick there, I thought. Something saved him.
Merv can't believe that.
Oh, it's a great shot.
Well, it really is a good tussle between these two. There's too much love lost and probably a few words of good morning and that going on down there. But this was the perfect reply. Beautiful follow through there. With the words of go fetch that one, Merv.
Nice shot. I think the chasing fielders will be hoping that gets there. Just.
Well, we could have seen an all-run 6 here if that hadn't have just bobbed over the crease. The fielders had given up the chase. It was a good shot again. It's a nice turn of the wrist, and again went through mid-wicket.
Hughes to Capel. Oh, that's straight through him. Didn't get forward. The ball seemed back. Unlucky to miss everything.
Certainly a fine delivery. In fact, it didn't keep on coming back as much as Capel expected. He actually played inside the line. The ball missing the outside of the bat.
And that's what Smith's trying to do. Really has produced some of the most savage square cutting imaginable this series. Always seems to be against Hughes.
Yes, he gave that a fearful crack.
Umpire Bird has issued a second warning now to Alderman. And this might be, well, a pretty welcome escape hatch for England. It's already had one. Alderman's asking why, and Dickey's showing him. Border says, how? But Alderman's got a pretty close line throughout this series. Umpire after umpire has been at him. Hughes to Capel. Slower one, which has been much more effective earlier in the series than that full toss. That'll make Capel feel a lot better.
I'm sure Dean Jones didn't feel any better at sealing it off there. Slow leg break full toss.
The leg spinner. Trevor Holmes.
When Robin Smith plays that, he really gives it everything. But he does signpost it, and the man at short square leg, David Boone, who was hit at Leeds, and dived well out of the way this time.
Has hit it with tremendous power. See how far that back foot's gone back to give him that extra little bit of time.
And that's gone like a rifle shot. Number 4 batsman. If we look at the scoreboard, says 50. That's Robin Smith, a half century for him. And he gets one away. Well played, David Capel. That's 4 runs.
Nice, crisp little shot here from David Capel at half volley, just on the leg stump.
That's in the gap. Go on, Merv. Good chase by Merv Hughes. And the applause around the ground for the 50 partnership between Robin Smith and David Capel. That's got through. Plenty of gaps out there. Just put the bat to the ball and you've got a very good chance of picking up 4.
Yes, Robin Smith is one of his favourite shots. Square cut. Played that one very well.
It's up in the air and it drops into space. Truly an imperfect hook shot, that by Smith.
Yes, not a good shot. Didn't really control it at all. Pulling it from way outside off stump and head high. Unfortunate to get away with that. There's a shout, and yes, Capel's been given out. That ball pitching in the rough, and may have got an edge onto a pad and just lobbing up to slip. That put England's back in problem again now. 5th wicket to go down. Ball pitching in the rough. A little edge onto the pad. And a gentle catch there for Taylor.
Now the umpires are having a word about the light. Ken Palmer has his light meter out. In fact, I'm surprised they didn't do it at the end of the last over when Lawson bowled. The light is certainly quite poor, but it may be time for Alan Border to bring himself onto bowl with Hones, and then the umpires would have to decide if there were any physical danger to the batsman out there. Jack Russell is the new batsman. He's the non-striker. Robin Smith, who's on 72, has struck to Lawson. Every time the ball beats the infield, it'll be 4. No outfielders at all, except the man deep behind square leg waiting for the hook shot. What does the light meter say? Will we even look at the light meter, or will we take the evidence of our own eyes? Ask the batsman, and away they go. And they never came back again. 143 for 5 it was. Nice innings from Robin Smith. He took advantage of the fact that the field was in, no one out there stopping the boundaries, and finished up with yet another half-century. 77 not out at the end. Jack Russell in with him, and North not out. 143 for 5, and the bowling figures for Australia, outstanding performances again from those 2 pacemen. Terry Alderman 2 for 30 in 13, Geoff Lawson 2 for 41 in 15.1. This time, for the first time in the series, Merv Hughes went wicketless, 8 overs, 2 maidens, none for 34, and Trevor Hones picked up 1 for 37. So this 6th test match, this Cornhill test at the Oval, the last of the series, finished a draw. Australia 468 and 219 for 4, England 285 and 143 for 5. Man of the match was Dean Jones. 2 lovely innings, magnificent knock in the first hand. I thought it was his best of the summer and one of the best I've ever seen from him, and a half-century at the 2nd attempt. Now, the whole of the series, the first test match, Australia won by 210, a massive margin at Headingley. Then at Lords, a very good victory where they came up on top by 6 wickets. The third one at Edgbaston drawn where rain interfered, and the fourth, Australia won by 9 wickets to regain the Ashes for the first time in England in 55 years. The fifth at Trent Bridge, an innings and 180 runs, a devastating demolition of England at Trent Bridge, and the sixth here, as was the case at Edgbaston, match drawn, Australia winning the series 4-0. The men of the series, for England, Jack Russell, for a really good performance all the way through. Brilliant sometimes and certainly consistent all the time. And Terry Alderman, in this game, became the first bowler in Test match history twice to take 40 wickets in a Test match series. A marvellous performance from him. He's only medium pace, but he's a real craftsman, marvellous talent. And Alan Border said at the start of the series he was going to put him in cotton wool. He did that, but not really to the extent of nullifying his talent. Tremendous performance from Alderman and also from the Australian captain. The team played very well. One of the great things about the summer was that even though it was a slightly one-sided series, the Australians did play well. They were worth going to watch all the time, whether they were batting, bowling or fielding, and certainly when they were being captained by this man who I think has done one of the greatest jobs in the history of Australian cricket.